What's going on, everybody? It's Josh, aka the Muslim Muscle, and this is an episode of Two Pros and One Average Josh. The Next Up podcast, episode four. Here with not one but two pretty much superheroes, in my opinion. The former Cousin Creamy, aka,
Hello, Marco, IFBB Pro. How you doing?
and down right below me, Clark Kent, aka, talk to
SwolRich.
him, SwolRich. So, quick little brief intro on how we know Mr. Craig is Class D NPC Universe 2025. I saw Craig on stage and I was just like, man, what the fuck is that? Like, what in the human, bovine, cattle, what is that? And then he came out for his routine to the Superman theme song, and there was nothing that fit more. Came out with the glasses and everything. I don't know if you posted it, but like it is fantastic. So I just
Yeah,
had to
thank
turn
you.
around and say that. It was one of I remember I sat there, I heard the song, I looked up, I looked at you, and I was backstage with like most of the class winners because I think I went first
Yeah.
for routines. And I looked at everyone else and I was like, there's nothing that could have been more fitting for him. And everyone just sat back there and they were like, no, that was a perfect song choice.
Dude, I
So
came up with that routine like that day. Like I didn't my brother sent me a song, that song, and I was because I just kind of wing it. I don't really prepare at all for the routines. Just because I'm a little nervous going up there. And so I think the more I prepare, the more I overthink and the more nervous I get. So I'm like, like I know I'd hit some poses. I'm just gonna go out there and feel it. So my brother sent me that clip of the song. And I was like, screw it. And I just brought the little USB drive to the thing. And then I was like, oh, I haven't really planned what I'm going to do to the song. And I did it that day. So turned out good, I guess, according to you.
yeah, I liked it. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm happy to hear there's a man after my own heart here because I came up with my routine about 30 minutes, 30 minutes before the show, or before finals, after getting high as hell in the parking lot with like five or six other people. Um,
Yeah,
and
I remember
literally,
watching you when you came out. I was like on the side. I hadn't gone yet. And I was like, holy crap, this dude is diced to the bones. You look great.
thank you, brother. I
Like,
appreciate it.
yeah, even going back to like looking at some of the pictures of our class, I was like, I don't know how I managed to get second. But then, I talked to some of the judges and I talked to my brother who's knows bodybuilding and he looks at people all the time and he was like, yeah, he kind of just beat people on the density. But like everyone looked great. It's kind
Yeah,
of crazy.
our how I've described it because people asked me, they were like, you look like you were in really, really good shape compared to some of the other guys. And I was like, well, we had a unicorn division. I was like, I wasn't even in the first call out for simply the fact that I was so different than everyone else. But the top four, you guys were all big, dense dudes. And it was like when I looked from like fourth to first, right? Mitri barely made weight. Let's just be real. Like he just barely made weight. He was thick as hell. And in all of his pictures, he looks significantly leaner than what I thought I was seeing on stage, but I never got to watch him actually pose. I just saw him like us all standing there.
Yeah.
You were easily the biggest competitor by far, just gigantic in terms of muscle. And then like third and fourth, to be completely honest, I couldn't tell you their names.
Yeah.
So
I
they,
was the other guy, he had like the ponytail. I was just in my head, I was calling him Jason Momoa because he looked like Jason Momoa to me.
yes.
And before prejudging, I walked outside the Marriott and he was posing, I think, with his coach. And I was like, this dude's fucking tall. He's got classic physique shorts on. Fuck. Like, it was like before prejudging. I was like, God damn it. Like now I'm fighting for second, I guess.
Yeah, it's funny as hell because like you start to get in your own little head about it. about like who else is back there. And I remember I was like looking around and it was just us kind of left. And everyone else had cleared out. So it was
Yep.
like some of class C like getting their stuff and like the 10 guys in class D. And it was like when you looked around, you saw the hard cutoff from top five to to like bottom five. Like I at least saw it keeping myself objectively out of it. Like I could see where the line was.
Yeah. Yeah, it
So
was I was in the same situation, but with my brother and my training partner. I look at them because all class A, B, and C they all cleared out, and I'm looking at them and we're looking at who I'm going against, and I was like, to ask my brother, I was like, "What do you think?" He said, maybe fourth or fifth," and I was like, "Ah, fuck you." And then I came off stage and I obviously I wasn't annoyed at him. We were just glad at the outcome.
yeah. All right, let's get into this. Let's we can start two ways. So I think we start with pet peeves in the gym. And I just really think that we start there because like I got a lot of them.
Yep.
Being that I own my own gym and work in a gym every day. So I'm gonna let you guys go and then I'll say one of mine after that. So Colin, go ahead. You've been quiet
I got
as he
to
starts
say
yawning.
in the background here. You guys are Community Universe. Pet peeves in the gym. It's a lack of self-awareness, I think. It's like the people who just like like the people when you walk through a fucking grocery store, they're just kind of like rambling, just like looking up at nothing. It's like
Yep.
same thing in the gym. It's just like standing there on the phone. I think phones and self-awareness are like my two, where I'm like, dude, put your fucking phone away. I'm gonna fucking make it part of the wall.
My
Yeah,
personal
I
favorite. Go ahead.
completely agree with that. Sorry to cut you off. But just self-awareness, like not knowing that it's a public space and people are trying to do the same thing you are, get a good workout in. I was last week I was training with a client and this woman, she was doing like goblet squats with a really heavy dumbbell, and then she rolled it back to the rack because it's a lot of effort, I guess, to pick it up and bring it back to the rack, and just nailed my client's ankle with the weight. And it's just a self-awareness thing.
My personal favorite thing to say when somebody's on their phone at the gym is like, yo, how many texts do you have left? Because they automatically hear it as how many sets do you have left? It's like, no, I'm going to hop in with you right now. How many texts do you have to go before you're going to actually do a set?
Yeah.
It's like, that's my favorite little joke because you notice the next time that somebody turns around, if you say it the right way, their phone ain't coming out again. Or they're moving completely across the gym to not
I'm
have
gonna
you
use
ask that
that. That's a
question.
good one.
Yeah, you could write that down. My PayPal link is in the bio. Just let me know when you use
Hey,
it. Royalties of 5 cents. Uh, so my personal biggest pet peeve in the gym is someone not putting their weights back.
yeah.
Um, but that one's easy, and that's just because like I don't have to do it. Right? Like, if nobody else does it, that means that I'm the one who's working, therefore I have to do it. But I'm also the worst culprit of it because if I just did a really hard set on the leg press, I'm not turning around and putting my weights away right away. I'm going to leave those on there and hope to God that somebody's like, hey, you done on here? I want to hop in, and I'll help you take off the weights that you're not going to use. So,
Fuck hypocrite.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
listen, I have to clean up everyone else's, therefore I don't want to clean up my own. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I think you're part of the problem.
Oh, 100%. 100%. But I've gotten better. We make that happen. So I think straight from there we can go into one of the more serious topics that we have. If I did not preface this, Craig gave us a lot of topics, which is awesome. So that we have a lot of ways to go about this. And the biggest or the common mistakes that beginners make, one of which would be not having self-awareness in the gym and being on your phone. So, Colin, rip yours. What do you think are the biggest mistakes that you made beginning, coming up, whether it's enhanced, not enhanced, does not matter.
Honestly, it's just not taking advantage of, you know, those first couple months in the gym where it's like you can just it's everyone knows it as your newbie gains. Like, I mean, granted, I came from a position where I was extremely overweight, but it's taking advantage of like the newbie gains, but also like personally not crash dieting the first time I got into a gym. I mean, fuck, dude, I went from 255 to 155 in 5 months. Like, talk about a rate of loss. So it's just
Yeah.
like, I think the best one would probably be like to kind of settle up on what I'm trying to say here is just like set a baseline of like nutrition and don't have unrealistic goals. I mean, again, I turn unrealistic to realistic, but at the cost of a shitload of muscle. So again, it's like having a baseline of nutrition, and not following somebody else's diet just for the sake of yourself, just because you want to see the weight fly off. Kind of building it for you. Again, reaching to those around you who know what they're doing and actually know stuff about nutrition and have knowledge in that little focal point, and not trying to just kind of do it all on the whim and just kind of crash diet and ruin my hormones for the sake of losing some weight.
I'm gonna debate that one really quick. Don't you think somebody could just get paralysis by overanalysis and never really start if they turn around and think they have to have a diet, they have to have a baseline?
Oh, 100%. But I mean, again, it's something hypothetically speaking, if I were to change it and go back, that's what I would do. Just because, dude, I mean, I look back at it now, I was eating like 1,600 calories, fucking at minimum of an hour of cardio every single day, lifting fucking 6 times a week while going to school. And it was just like, again,
Yeah, you
like
probably didn't be doing all that.
yeah, it was it, but again, I was so new to fitness and like actually quote unquote bodybuilding and just it was just a lot that I look back now was extremely unnecessary and but again, that was probably like the main thing that I changed specifically when it came to like beginning mistakes.
Yeah. How many
Right, go
people
ahead.
ask you guys for your diet?
Too many to count.
And I get it all the time, and I'm like, this isn't any good for you. Like, are you gonna go copy this? You'll just get fat.
The best one is the oh, you must not eat a lot of carbs. Look at you. It's like
Yeah.
or what?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
I
the biggest mistake I see is kind of what Joshua you said about the paralysis by over analysis. I think like younger kids come up to me all the time, "Oh, can you help me build out a program?" I'm like, "Oh, sure." Next week they come up like, "Oh, my goal is now this." Like they're just overthinking. I think social media doesn't help with that. Like all these different opinions from people on how you should do things. I think you should just create some plan, whatever it is, stick with it at least for like 12 weeks, see if it works, and then if you want to switch plans after that, go ahead. But if you're switching up stuff all the time, just because he said, she said this is the best way, then you don't really know what works for you. Um, yeah, just overthinking all these different opinions coming in. I think they should just create a plan, whatever it is, stick with it, and see if it works.
It's funny, we
agree.
legitimately just talked about that on the podcast we
Yeah,
just did. It's, sticking to a plan of and actually giving yourself enough time to see if it truly works or if it truly doesn't. Whereas if, because we were talking about more so on the sake of training, like program hopping, but even
Yeah.
just in general, it's just gotta, you have to kind of let it marinate and see if it truly works because 3 months time you'll be able to know if it works or it doesn't and then from there you can change it up if you need to but like you said the weekly changes even the monthly changes it's way too much in which that you're just pissing away possible progress.
100%. So I was blessed when it comes to beginnings. I had Sue. Craig, you don't know this, but Sue is my godmother. She also used to train at Beb's back in the 90s. And like he used to go out for sushi with like Dave Palumbo and all them. So like that was the person who taught me the gym.
Nice.
Um, I started with like perfect form, 3 sets of 15 across the board, doing 45 minutes of cardio on the bike, of which I would always just try and get 15 miles. So a mile every 3 minutes. That's still the goal I try to hit. It's ingrained in me. Um, but I had a really blessed beginning. I would say my biggest mistake personally was I would try to do too much. doesn't realistically sound atypical for me, but like I would come home from football practice and then I go to the gym. Um, or like I would have a lift at school, then I come home, I'd eat, and then I go to the gym here. I still wouldn't do cardio. But I think there is definitely a realm for when you're starting out. You could just be doing way too much, like way, way too much. Um, you don't need a lot when you're first starting. When you're a beginner, you can get away with full body workouts 3 times a week, 20 minutes of cardio, probably grow and get pretty lean. You could eat 3 meals of chicken and rice a day, and the rest whatever the hell you want. School chicken fingers and fries, it don't matter, and you're probably still going to make a ton of progress. Just getting a slight handle on the little stuff is going to massively improve it. And like, listen, most people start in high school. I think I started in middle school, but like if you're starting in high school, just going to the gym, take advantage of that time that you have. That if you're not working a job or you're not doing anything, like you get to sleep, you get to eat your parents' food for free. Like, take advantage of that. When you go to the gym, just don't even train to like get strong, just train to feel a pump and do things correctly. You do that for long enough, you will I don't care what your starting point is, you will go further than everyone else in your class who's trying to just see what their 1 rep max bench press is.
I agree.
So that's my little spiel on beginner mistakes. And I think the next thing that we can go right into is there any significant changes that were game changers in your fitness journey? I think it was the day that I stopped doing too damn much, which is when football ended for me in college. Um, I think that that was a huge game changer because then I was able to kind of focus on like building muscle or burning fat. And I started playing with my nutrition a little bit more there too. I would kind of eat. I think I told this story. I did like the Stan Efferding vertical diet or a version of it, where I'd have like 4 slices of bread in the morning, half an avocado, uh, 4 eggs, 16 ounces of cooked beef throughout the day with 4 cups of rice, and then the last meal of the day was a whey protein shake and a bag of Charlie gummy worms. So great meals while in college. Also a bottle of Bacardi, but we won't talk about that as well. But like that, those were the biggest game changers then. And then in the enhanced realm, the biggest game changer was growth hormone. Duh.
I agree
Uh,
1000%.
I was not running high dosages of growth hormone, but once I touched it, my back exploded. So,
Yeah, that was for me, that was the difference between like my I've had 2 competitive seasons. The first one I had no growth. The second one, this one I did, and it was able to for me to dig a lot deeper, like conditioning wise, because it kept me full. Like
mhm.
we didn't feel like we had to constantly refeed to fill back up because I was running flat because the growth kept me from getting as flat. So I think that allowed us to get the conditioning that we wanted.
In your hypothetical usage, how high did you go?
4.
Yeah, still see like not a large dose whatsoever and does the job or
Yeah.
did a good majority of the job. Joe's gonna kill me when he watches this.
Yeah, right.
So,
And then
but
we
real
bumped it down to 3 most of the time.
Yeah.
I was on 2 my entire prep. Now I get made fun of on another podcast for doing less than 8. So now we're up there. We're up in those upper realms. Colin, what's yours? What's your biggest game changer?
Honestly, biggest thing for me was mine's more the mental side of things. Like I stopped worrying about what everybody else was doing, just focus on myself. Um, that's for me because obviously I'm a fucking head case, and you know, if it's looking up competitors I'm going against, if I'm whatever the case may be, anything that's going to mentally just drain me of energy, that was probably the biggest thing. On the biggest, oh, actually, I'd put that second. My first biggest game changer is Retta.
Well, I was going to say those two go hand in hand. As soon as you were done talking, I was going to be like, that came from you to being on the Reddit. You just stopped caring about stuff.
Well,
So,
yeah,
like, those go hand in hand to me.
yeah. That I will say though, that was probably like hands down number one. Fucking takes the spot.
Do you think you'll ever prep again without it?
Nope. There's no reason to honestly, and like I've already been through the suck. I know what a fucking real prep. No, I'm gonna say it like I'm an asshole, but I know what a fucking prep with no hunger control and all that bullshit is. Every hack to try and make you fuller. I've gone through four preps doing it, and it's just like this. I would take 50,000 times over with doing Retta than not. It's just I don't even give a shit about the whole lipolysis effect, the glucagon activation, the fat loss from that. I just the fact that I was not thinking about cookies by the time from wake to sleep, I was a okay with life, and I could fucking prep the entire year if I needed to.
Greg, it was actually amazing post show of Junior Nats, right? Like he just won his pro card.
Yeah.
I went back to his Airbnb after like the show and everything, kind of expecting him to be like off the walls eating whatever the fuck. Like, yeah, he's got the video or the picture the next day. Yeah, his girl had to compete the next day, but like, yo, I thought we were gonna see some nonsense go on. Um, what did you have? Half a muffin?
I think I'd like no, we combined. We both had one muffin, and then I think I had fruit, chicken, rice, and avocado, and that was all I had after that show.
It was like nuts to watch because like I've known Colin for now a little over a year. Happy anniversary. Um,
Yeah. How have the
and
previous preps gone at post show?
but
Oof.
he told me he would just turn around binge eat for like 4 days. So I was like at his house, like expecting to see this. It just didn't happen. I was like, the fuck is this? I was like, I got gypped.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I had to compete at Universe afterwards. So I was like, yo, I got gypped here. What's going on?
Yeah, no, it's like last year. I mean, I went through a lot of bullshit after Universe last year. Because I like ended up having to move to Raleigh, North Carolina. It was like just a lot of bullshit that I was dealing with, but it's like it was the food, it was drinking, it was bad, dude. It was like really bad. But again, it's like, I was the typical, okay, I'm eating this right now, but I'm gonna be back on plan tomorrow. And then I wake up tomorrow, eat my first meal, and I'm like, all right, I'll try again tomorrow, and then I'll do it
Yeah.
again. It was just bad. It was stuff like that where it's like I'd have a clean day, and then I'm like, oh, I try and justify now that I'm fucking off. And again, I mean, right now I'm sitting roughly about 13 ish, maybe a little less pounds post show, where I'm 5 weeks post show. Whereas, dude, I was already in the 200s like 3 weeks post show last time. It was,
Yeah.
You, Colin.
What you just described was basically me, like 2 weeks post the universe. I completely binged like horribly. Just ate everything in sight. I think right after the show, I had two pizzas, brownies, cookies, like Brazilian food. And
Yo,
just I
he's
would
like 6'4", dude. When you let's preface this with he is a gigantic human. So
um yeah, I just ate everything and it didn't stop. Like I was in and out of a food coma for probably like 2 weeks straight. I'd wake
nice.
up and my eyes would be like bloodshot. I couldn't see for like the first 30 minutes of my day. It was horrible, but I finally have it back in range. Like I'm back on plan now. Uh, but yeah, no, I went off.
Yeah, what was your weight the day of the show? What's the highest weight you got to at the rebound?
Oof. I was on stage at like 235-ish.
Just
Uh,
that I knew that number was going to be astronomical, and that's why I wanted to say, like, yo, he is very tall.
yeah.
and I got up to like 260 in like probably like 30 hours. 30.
Holy fuck.
Yo, that makes me feel so much better.
Yeah, I
What's your weight
was
at right now?
247.
That doesn't make me
I
feel
was
that
just say,
much
so
better.
make you feel good, Moses.
No, no. I was 202 on stage.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, and I'm currently, what was I this morning? 243. Yeah.
43.
So 22 days post show, fucking killing it.
Fuck,
Uh,
rate of
I
gain.
wish I could show you these pictures. I was like just completely mentally fucked. I was just like waking up. I was like, dude, if I hit the sauna, I'll get some water off, then I'll have a good day. And then, I have some of these pictures out of the sauna, and I look like a complete water buffalo.
Trust me, I got some. I got some. We'll share them after. That's fantastic. Oh, cool. All right. I didn't have the binge thing. I just had 2 days, and my body just said, "Oh, let's have some fun. Let's see what we could do." Um, yeah, I actually have a personal problem with one of your questions. Oh, mass guys and their Dunkin', Jesus. Uh, foods that taste amazing during prep but aren't actually good. Personally, I could eat tilapia and asparagus year round. I
Nah,
could eat.
he's talking like these bullshit fucking things you do to like the mixtures that people will make that the dopamine just for some reason craves it on prep, but it's like in real life you're like, what the fuck was I doing?
Is like cucumber and salt count like that?
Well, it's not. It's like the cucumber with like you put cinnamon, maple, sugar-free
Yeah,
maple
you put
syrup.
Splenda all over the fucking thing.
Yeah, dude,
I've
that
never
shit's
done that. No,
brutal.
I
I
never
was
do
putting
that.
Splenda on all my apples.
I mean, what?
Dude, it was good.
I
It
could
was
see
good.
that be. I could see that being good. I mean, I air fry bananas every time I have bananas. So like,
But that's like somewhat normal.
yeah, I look at that as like a plantano.
Yeah, it's like, but like that, the concoctions that people will make, where it's like, because even when people look at it, it's like the chicken, peanut butter, banana, and honey, or what, or
Yeah,
Yo, that
yeah, that type of
slaps,
stuff, the concoctions people make.
bro. That slaps. I
no.
don't care. That's Thai food at the end of the
But
day.
again, like for you, yeah, that's fantastic. But like, think about you fucking deep in an off season. I ain't making no peanut butter chicken banana fucking pre workout meal.
Yeah,
You're
yeah, like
bugging.
if you scroll on whatever social media and you have all these like, oh, banana bread, like
Oh,
whatever, all these things.
dude, this,
Like, you ever
oh,
try making them? They never fucking come out right. They taste disgusting, and then like you're like, oh, there goes all my food. And now I'm like an hour behind, and I'm starving, and my banana
Yo,
bread is burnt.
and they also say like 40 grams of monk fruit sweetener. It's like, yo, I don't care if it's got a calorie per. You just added 45 calories to this thing.
Yeah, it never like the artificial sugars. Like I don't know about you guys, but when food's low, like it makes me not go to the bathroom.
oh yeah,
So all these like concoctions people are making, there's only so many you can have until your digestion gets fucked.
yeah. That
I'm gonna
was.
be complete. Oh, go ahead, Colin.
Oh no, I was gonna say that was like the big thing because especially with like the Red in place, obviously it's like the hunger wasn't a thing, so it's like I just ate my meals. But that was like a big thing for me is that I had my meals and there was no bullshit with like a crazy amount of sweeteners or fucking a God knows how much stevia in this and sugar-free maple syrup and that. It's like honestly, I fucking could not stand sugar-free maple syrup on prep. Like it was just disgusting to me.
I cut that out like first day of prep. That was my because of how bad it got during the off season where I was just making all of my food like wet with sugar-free maple syrup. That was the first thing I cut out during prep. That and I cut out like almost every sugar-free drink except for like energy drinks the first week of prep. And then at some point I fell back into the like sodas and stuff,
Yep.
but I never put the sugar-free maple back in until prep was over. But I will say this. I mean, this is a my coach does not like artificial sweeteners. He also doesn't like honey or maple syrup. That's a topic for another time. But I'll tell you this, I definitely drank part of a energy drink the morning of the show because I knew I would go to the bathroom. I remember I was FaceTiming you, Colin, and I did that. And I was like, I'm not supposed to have this right now, but I know I'm gonna take a shit if I do.
Yeah,
Coffee doesn't work better for you?
Nope.
Hmm.
I'm
For
saying
me, for whatever reason, it's got to be carbonated. It has to be some sort of a energy drink. It's just how it hits me. And I didn't have that much of it. I remember I sat there on FaceTime, drank like 2 sips, dumped the rest out of my car window. But I went to the bathroom right after tanning.
it's funny you say that because that was the same thing that I did because Jack gave me 300 mils of water in between, and I was dog shit tired. And instead of water, I had 300 mils of a straw bango ghost, and I took shit, and that led me into the fucking show.
Yeah, it's for whatever reason the energy drink does more, probably because I drink coffee throughout the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will take
My
a break
my
from energy drinks.
my morning routine all through prep was throwing like three zins in my mouth, grabbing a large coffee, and that would just make me poop every day.
Where in Mass are you from?
Say what?
Where in Massachusetts are you from?
Like 45 minutes south of Boston.
Yeah, that makes sense. How far from Weymouth?
Oh, Weymouth isn't actually that far. It's like 30 minutes.
Yeah, this reminds me of my ex-girlfriend.
God.
Oh, shout out Jen.
I'm glad
Shout out
it's
Jen. She's
more
great
name
people.
of his girlfriend.
Hey, we're ambidextrous here. Um,
An interesting take.
yeah, always. All right, so I want to get into this one just because I think recently we've all seen the videos. Is bodybuilding as a hobby and industry headed in the right direction or wrong direction? You know he wrote sport. Um, we've all seen the videos of these people coming out and like either lip singing songs or Rubio Mascara dancing instead of doing a routine. That part of it is 100% going in the wrong direction. Classic physique, rewarding muscularity over shape, flow, posing. I wouldn't say is going in the wrong direction because classic physique is a derivative of 1970s, 1980s bodybuilding, right? So therefore, them promoting more muscularity in addition to symmetry, conditioning, posing, all that, I don't think is the wrong move. I think that's the right move because like was Arnold the most conditioned on stage? No. Was Franco the most conditioned on stage? Maybe, but not when he won the Olympia. Um, like I almost look at it more like the Lee Labrada was a classic physique guy, right? Like the guys who are rewarded are almost more so they're peeled, they are muscular as all hell, but maybe they're just not open bodybuilders yet. So what's your guys' take? Is bodybuilding as a hobby and industry headed in the right direction or wrong direction? The one thing I will say is the show production is starting to head in the right direction. The show, you do see that promoters are changing things.
Well, I mean, I feel like the promoters kind of had to do something. I mean, you think about the Olympia gets so much backlash from their, again, backdrops and the look of the stage and portraying the physique and not portraying sponsors. Obviously, the sponsors are a big role in the support and ability to produce these shows, but at the same time, there's ways to have them on stage, have them present, and not have it blur out the physiques on stage. Obviously, a pure example is Detroit Pro was the beginning of really what it started with the black backdrop. And, pictures were amazing, but even in person watching it, it made everything, it made the guy stand out a lot better on stage. You're not distracted from the stuff in the background. And again, it's not even for the sake of how the show was ran, but it's more so just like the presentation. It's the focal point of the athletes because realistically, it's not about the sponsors come show day. It's all about the athletes and the look that they're bringing and really like being able to soak in that whole entire thing. So I think because they did it, I know it was an NPC show. Or I think it was no, it was just an NPC show. The something in Michigan, Travis City.
Twin City.
Twin City, Minnesota. The Twin City one, even them, like they had like a little sparkly lights in the background, but it was a black backdrop. It, even for the NPC athletes, brought out really great looks. And even to what's it called, like Junior Nats. Like Junior Nats had a little busy of a background with their thing, but all the sponsors were on the side. They weren't on the main backdrop. The main backdrop was the logo of the show, whereas they had all their sponsorships on the rotating screens on the outside. So again, taking the focus to the athletes, not the sponsors. But I mean, for that sake, I think they're moving in the right direction. But then when it comes to actual bodybuilding, again, the dancing and all that stuff, I mean, I'm not going to bash and say don't enjoy yourself, but also don't make a mockery of what you're trying to do. Especially when it comes to like posing routines, because again, there's people who put in a substantial amount of time for it, and for those who just kind of get up there and hit like a couple bullshit poses, and then whether it's sing or dance, or it just doesn't really make sense. Maybe the first time someone ever did it, they can make it more of a comedic relief, but at that point, then it just gets corny. I feel. Um,
Reminds me of what Ron Gordon did at Detroit Pro in
Well, yeah,
prejudging, where he had no music and he just posed to applause. And then when we came back for finals and he did it again, it was like, why did you do this again?
yeah. That's the thing. It was cool at first, and then it got corny. And again, not to discredit Ron Gordon, he's a fucking monster. But if you would have just stopped right there, that would have been like a really cool like memory. And then he did it again for finals, and it ruined it. I feel. But in total, I think bodybuilding is moving in the. I don't know. I'm kind of split. I want to say right direction, but at the same time, I don't know. I think bodybuilding is moving in the right direction. I feel like the fitness industry is moving in the wrong direction. If we can kind of split those two fucking halves, because the fitness industry is getting pretty fucking brutal altogether with this whole optimal bullshit. But I'm not going to get
Yeah.
into that one.
I agree with that.
That's I feel like that's what more of I meant in the question. Um, just like fitness industry, I guess not bodybuilding, because if we do separate them, I think bodybuilding is doing fine. There's more competitors. We can pay like the top competitors more when they win shows. But like the social media, like optimizing training, I'm sure you guys already talked about like fatigue management and all that stuff. Just like, newbies counting 3 RIR on a tricep extension who have 10-inch arms as it is. Like that kind of is what I meant with the question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I think we're all in agreement. It's
Yeah.
bodybuilding as a whole is definitely moving in a better direction, but certain aspects of the fitness industry definitely aren't. I think we have time for one more, but before we get into that, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that fun shit. Greg, this has been a great episode. I've had a lot of fun. So I think that we end this with, let's not make it too long. Uh, any funny prep stories? I have one. I forgot a scale when we went to Detroit, so no, neither Colin or I could weigh ourselves, so we had no idea what our weight was the entire time. That's that was funny to me. Also, Colin can't smoke. Free smoke, free smoke. I bought the weed, and he might have had like a hit of everything that we tried, which was meant I had to throw out a lot of it,
And I was higher than you.
like the
Uh,
software.
about forgetting things, I forgot my reconstitution solution when I went. So I didn't take any GH for one night, and then like the next day, my legs just looked really fatigued, and then I was like texting my coach, like I was starting to panic because each photo looked a little worse and worse. And I was like, oh, do we add it back in? Do we not? Are we gonna, if I add it back in, will we add 2 pounds and now I'm over the weight cap? Like, like just, uh, yeah, just completely tweaking because I forgot my GH. And then another story I wanted to bring up was there was multiple times during prep that I would have like full blown conversations with ChatGPT like for hours just because like I was too exhausted to talk and I didn't want to talk to anybody. So I would just pull up ChatGPT and just say, "Hey man, like how you doing?" And we talk about life for hours.
I love it.
That's
That's awesome.
funny as shit. I'm not even gonna try and that's we're fucking ending on that one. That's funny as shit.
Yeah, that was fantastic. All right. So with that said, Colin, quick one.
Well, it's been a pleasure. SwolRich is the IG.
Yep.
Everyone go follow SwolRich. We'll leave him in the description. But always a pleasure, man. I appreciate you coming on. But this has been yet again another Next Up podcast. Congrats on the IFBB Pro card. I wish you nothing but the best for the shows to come.
Thank you.
And we will definitely be watching Josh to get his fucking pro card next year.
We'll see. Two pros and one average, Josh.